Hello, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Good little doggy head thing going on there today. I wanted to talk about dealing with difficult people today. There's a number of different approaches that you can do for that. I think the easiest, well, they're all permission slips. Different ways to handle the situation that feels energetically aligned with you. So, for instance, there's Gary Renard that has Beyond the Ego, and he does supplements for the Book of Miracles, and travels the world and does seminars and whatnot. One of his permission slips, which I really liked and I used for years, and I still use it from time to time, is I'm an immortal spirit. This body is just an image, and it has nothing to do with what I really am. And I think it encompasses the essence of the scenario, is that you are forgiving yourself and you are recognizing yourself as an immortal being, and if you're truly in that moment, you're also recognizing the situation or the other individual causing the situation as an immortal being. So I'm a mortal spirit. This body is just an image. It's just a reflection. It has nothing to do with what I really am. It's like, oh, that feels good. And I took care of my mom for a number of years, and she was ailing and getting up there, and it was a stressful situation getting things together for moving over a number of years because she had a lot of stuff. And there was many times where I used that permission slip. And then as I moved on, there's permission slips from Abraham-Hicks, recognizing that you're source energy and that the other person is source energy and that everything is all right. But I think it really comes down to finding a permission slip that allows you to be in the one moment, the one infinite moment of creation. Now, Gary Renard's permission slip, there was a couple before I actually felt that one moment of oneness, of unconditional love in the early part of, it was January, I believe, of 2013. Like a glimpse, enough that I felt like I thought I had a heart attack or something was going on that wasn't right because it was so foreign at the time. But I had little glimpses of like a still moment when I was using those other permission slips, and where things were calm and things were nice, and it was like touching a fourth density state, a more peaceful state, a more non-linear state where you're less glued to physical time as a concept, because physical time is a concept, a construct within your physical consciousness, and the more you do exciting things that are exciting to you, the more you break down the idea of space-time. So for instance, let's say an hour has gone by, and within that hour you're doing an exciting thing, or 3 or 4 hours, but let's just call it an hour, and you're doing exciting things, and you're doing exciting things, and you're doing exciting things. Excuse me. And when you get to the end of that hour, what ends up happening is that you're skipping over some of these times that are in this hour block, so that really that hour was, let's say, 15 minutes. You experienced it as an hour within your consciousness, but as far as physical linear body, it only experienced 15 minutes. And that's why you can live hundreds of years, or experience hundreds of years in the body. Even though the body only lasts, a certain amount of time, you can experience hundreds of years of being experienced in the body in joy, because you're skipping over all these other moments in time. Now, dealing with difficult people is remembering that this is a construct, that it is an agreement, that every person you come across, you have an agreement with, and until you energetically change so that how you react to that situation or that person changes, you have not changed. So the situation can't change because the situation is a reflection. It is a mirror. Physical reality is a mirror from your greater consciousness. You are projecting it from your greater consciousness. You are creating it billions of times a second within your creator's consciousness. You are slipstreaming as a consciousness through billions of parallel realities per second, and your energy state decides which parallel reality you're going to experience. So dealing with difficult people, you can even redefine that when you're dealing with the person. And just give them love because they're in a difficult moment, and the personality construct of the ego wants to take everybody with them when things are difficult, and the personality construct starts to break down because they've been doing difficult things and they think they have to do things in a certain way to be able to get money and to do this, that, and the other thing. And the personality is just, is overly strained and doing more work than it was designed to do. And when that happens, that personality reaches out and wants to take other personalities with it because, nobody wants to be going it alone. They want to be miserable. They want you to be miserable. That is the way it kind of goes. So if you can extend some unconditional love to that person or situation in the moment, understand that they're an immortal being, understand that you put that situation there, everything that you encounter is per agreements on a higher level that you've had that you just don't remember. So whether that's that car accident or somebody being difficult with you in your life, once you energetically can relieve those things and find permission slips that you can relieve them with, then once they show up again, if you react differently to it, the next time it shows up, you have a greater ability for that to change because it is a reflection. Your internal greater being energetically is projecting something different, so you're going to start to see different things, and those types of scenarios won't come up. Doesn't mean other greater difficulties won't come up because you are a being that likes to challenge yourself. You wouldn't be on Earth otherwise, because this is, for lack of other words, a difficult school, or very strong, very, very, very determined immortal beings came with a whole bunch of their friends. So you and a whole bunch of your friends, me and a whole bunch of my friends, and that would be you, one of my friends, on a higher level that have known each other forever, infinitely, eternally, because there is only one moment, decided to go and play a difficult game. And if you are an immortal being in a timeless reality, why wouldn't you want to play a difficult game? Because you knew there would be nothing but love for you back on the other side. That you are nothing but love. But you wanted to play a game to see if you could go through great difficulty, through great limitation, through great darkness, and recognize that you were an immortal being in a timeless reality and remember of who you were. So again, dealing with difficult people is recognizing the situation for what it is. That the other person's out of alignment, that they're unhappy. That doesn't mean that you have to go along with them. You recognize that you're an eternal being, recognize through whatever permission slip you can, whether it be through Abraham-Hicks, whether it be through Eckhart Tolle, whether it be through David Wilcock, or any number of people that have different types of permission slips out there. Find the one that works for you. Tony Robbins has different permission slips, and you have Napoleon Hill that has different philosophies, and it's all finding one that resonates best with you. So keep an ear out, feel your way to the situation, and recognize that the other person is just out of alignment. So dealing with difficult people is really, you're dealing with the reflection, you're dealing with something that you put there. So just recognize that first and foremost. So I put that there. Take a moment of pause, take a deep breath in the kindest way you know how, and just examine the situation. Maybe even say, why are you angry? I haven't done anything to you. Is there something that you want to talk about? Is something else bothering you? Just approach it from a heartfelt type of way, because your heart has intelligence, your heart has wisdom, your heart, every moment that it beats, it's sending an energetic bubble at the speed of light that envelops the entire earth. So almost every moment, every second, you are enveloping the earth with your own heart bubble and communicating with every other heart. And as a mass, as a whole, one big giant heart bubble as an energetic signature for the entire earth. And these things are to be felt. Feel them, and feel your way into having more patience with people and being able to better deal with difficult people. You put that difficult person there, so don't be all that stressed about it. You put it there as a challenge for yourself. As you recognize it for a challenge, you can kind of unravel it and make it a little simpler for yourself. Find some various permission slips that you can use with that individual or that situation, whether it be going to work that you don't want to do, or any number of things, or the dog peed on the carpet again, or whatever. That's still a permission slip. Every entity, everything is alive. Your animals especially are have consciousness. Now, they're not the same consciousness level as you, but that you do recognize them as an aspect of the infinite. So you need to be quite as patient with them as you do, probably even more so than you would for someone else that could express themselves a little bit more favorably than, you know, someone that can't verbally communicate with you. So just be easier with everything. Be a little kinder on everything. Be more kinder to yourself is really the big thing, is to be nicer to yourself. Because when you do start recognizing that you are immortal and that these things are things that you put there to be challenges for yourself, you are recognizing your own divinity, you are recognizing your own eternalness, you are recognizing yourself first before you're recognizing the situation, before you're validating this other person, before you're recognizing that person as an immortal being. You're recognizing yourself as an immortal being, which I think is the most important part of the process, is recognizing yourself as an immortal being. And that makes it a lot more easy to give forgiveness to others, knowing that you are immortal, you are infinite, that you are all that is, expressing itself in all the ways that all that is can. You are one of the unique, infinite expressions of all that is, and you are unique, and you are cherished, and you are eternally loved, equally with all expressions. And when you can recognize that self, when you can recognize that in yourself, you can express that out to others. And that makes life a lot easier and a lot more flow and a lot more synchronicity and a lot more love all together in your life. And that's all we want. We want love. We want to be loved. We want to be recognized. We want to express ourselves and to have recognition from others. So recognize others for their divinity, and you will recognize it in yourself as well. So I think that's everything I wanted to share. There's so many ways you can get permission slips to be able to do forgiveness lessons of various sorts. I think it's just finding the one that works for you. Sometimes it's just recognizing your own divinity. It could be any number of things. Find the one that works for you. So again, life coaching, spiritual coaching, business coaching. I've been doing it for years and years, and if you want to have a conversation to talk about such scenarios that you might be going through, or just to have a conversation, again, I'm going to get my own radio show or something, because I love talking, and I love talking to people. I could just do that all day long, jibber jabber all day long. So, free coaching sessions for an hour, no worries. More than happy to do that. You can do that from the websites that are linked here. You can send me a message via YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.